Guessing. Oh yeah. So let's get into the breakdown here. I made a hardcore kind of track the other day. It's 200 BPM style beat. But yes, we're going to break it down into 3 elements. We're going to go over the drums, the bass, and the rest of the melodic elements. So we're going to get into it now. Here is the hardcore track breakdown. Headphone mode. Perfect. Let's jump over to the screen here. All right, looking lovely. So we're going to go over our drums first. I'm just going to go ahead and solo these guys. So we've got the intro drums. I'll play you the nice groove here. And so that's kind of the intro, but then we have a build up, and then this is like the main hardcore section right here. The drums, we've got the kick, and the snare comes in on the second half of this drop here. But we also have a weird extra kick. So we'll jump into the kick here. This is just a sample. This is just a kick that I've made in my Nebby Essentials pack here. But yeah, so it's just playing real quick notes, like, yeah, nice and hardcore style. The snare is also a snare that I made in Serum using white noise and stuff like that. Just a little guy like that. And then on the second half, we're also layering in studio drummer. It's just a really fast groove. It's this one. So that's basically the drums. And the 808 is just a real simple patch from Serum as well. Just like a basic sine wave with the filter. This is the patch here. We just have no effects on it. Doesn't even have distortion. And so the weird thing is the kick, this extra kick. This is what this sounds like. It's a Serum kick that I made that I EQ'd very weirdly. But so if we go to that here, cutting out lots of stuff here, and it just gives a weird, it's almost like a tom in there because I have it playing a few extra notes. Like if we just listen to the kick and the extra kick. It's kind of like a tom. Something weird. I don't know. I thought it fit, sounded good because I didn't want to just have the kick, the main kick playing these extra notes. So that's why we did that. We kind of have like a halftime section over here. And yeah, so that's that for the drums. So next, we're going to go on to the Serum patch for the bass. This is the main bass sound. This is like the only bass sound in the track other than that little 808 we had in the drum section. So we'll just go into that patch a little bit more in depth to kind of show you what's going on there. Jump back over here. This was originally a dubstep growl that I had made. So we've got a detuned saw here. This is a wavetable that I made, but it's just like a really noisy looking wavetable. But yeah, so basically we got the FM from B going up. It's being automated by one of these, this one. FM from B, and the blend on the detune is going up. So if you look, it's like automating it like this. It just gives it a weird sound. And then we have the filter being automated by this patch right here, or this LFO, I should say. And of course, we got a bunch of effects on here. We got the hyper, We got distortion. Phaser we actually have turned off. I can turn that off. And then distortion is also being automated on this LFO here. So that's getting a little bit of movement. Compressor, we have, oh, we're not using reverb either. Nice. Compressor, we got multiband, and I just pulled the threshold down here. Without it, it definitely weakens it. Just sounds awesome to do that. Definitely do that in some of my other dubstep wobble type sounds. And the EQ, I just took a little bit of the low end out and boosted the highs just a tad. But yeah, so that's mainly what we got going on in here. Also, it's kind of cool since we have FM from B going up. Can play around with this sync. The sync on the second wavetable, which is not being played at all. It's purely the saw, because this is off. We're just using it for FM. But if we increase the sync here, this is actually what I do in a lot of my other like dubstep type tracks. In this track, I didn't automate this at all. We just left it down here the whole time. Really simple pattern. It's basically just matching the bass, the 808. It's playing E, an E note like the whole time, just going up to an F every once in a while. But yeah. So for the last section, we'll go on to the melodic elements. We've got a chord, we've got kind of a lead, but it's not exactly a lead. And then we have a pad, and that makes up the majority of the melodic elements. So let's jump back in here. We'll go ahead and start with this pad. This pad is from a Cymatics pack. It's called More Evil, and it sounds great. Just decided to use that. As is, I didn't tweak it at all. But yeah, so that's the pad. Let's get on to the chords. This is more of the main element here. And so this is made up of two elements here. Let's get into that pattern. We got chords and then a second clock chord sound. We got a hardstyle lead preset that I made, and I thought it just sounded good with these chords actually. Yeah, so this one is just a saw, and then this one's kind of a funky, more of a noisy. It's called Basic Mini. I think it's one of the, yeah, it's one of the analog presets here. And we just got 16 voices. We got the detune turned up on both. But we got reverb on it, distortion. Not actually using the hyper, I could turn that off. But yeah, reverb and distortion. And also a formant filter. Kind of gives it more of a fun feel. I don't know, I just think it sounds nice with the formant on this filter here. But so yeah, and then the envelope here kind of makes it more into a pluck sound. But not exactly, because the sustain is still negative 7.7 here, so that lets it hold, but not at full volume. So it still gives it that stab at the beginning. And then this second one is another preset that I've made called Clock. I don't know why I called it Clock. Maybe this wavetable was from a clock or something. I can't remember. But anyways, yeah, so this one. Got some fast level changing here on LFO 1. Kind of giving us that repeated pluck sound. For some reason I had the sub on too and the filter, but we're not using filter or sub. We just got the compressor, reverb, and EQ. And I did the same thing on this compressor as the dubstep bass actually. And we have multiband turned on and the threshold pulled down. I didn't touch any of these other knobs here. And just some reverb. And yeah, we also have it automating these two in with a low pass filter on each of them separately. So the clock chords comes in a little bit stronger first, and then the hardstyle lead type patch comes in second. Yeah. And that's mostly the chords, and then during the drop I just have it play a chop from the pattern here every now and then to fill out the beat more. I literally just chopped from this section and dropped them in the drop. Make it sound nice. And then the last melodic element we have is this bell sound here, which is a 3x oscillator patch. It's a saw wave with just a slight bit of a detune. And we do have the Mod X filter on here, making it more of a pluck. But then we have a bunch of reverb on it. We also have a noise 3x oscillator going. It's literally just 3 of these noise things here. And we're just automating it with a low pass to give our song some sweepies. And that's what it sounds like. And then I recorded a pre-drop vocal saying boots and cats. Here, I'll play it for you first. Boots and cats. And all we did was put that through a couple things. Multiband compressor with the vocal preset on. Got the EQ cutting some of the lows. The reverb is actually off, and so is the delay. But then we have this robot preset from Vocodex on the E note here. Boots and catsin. And it sounds dope. That's just me saying boots and catsin. And that's pretty much the track. Thanks for watching.